Welcome everybody to the show. Let's empower our minds. But before we do, I got a question for you. What are you so stressed out about? That's today's topic. It's stress. We're going to find out how do we manage stress. So with that in mind, let's go straight to it. We've got the world's best hypnotherapist and life coach and co-host, Liana Lapidus. How's it going today? Let's start this episode.
Amazing, Joel. Joel, always a pleasure.
Today's topic is stress and how do we manage it? I know that when I was in my initial stages of recovery, I really had to learn how to manage stress because stress was a trigger for me, like many people who were addicted to something or are addicted to something, whether it's negative thinking or a substance. Because when I drank and I would be stressed out, I would drink even more, and I drank a lot. So, Liana, from a hypnotherapist standpoint, what is stress to you and where does it stem from?
It all stems from the story you're telling yourself. Things happen and our mind goes into shock. We feel, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. What am I going to do? Instantly, we get to that place and we create this turmoil in our own mind. And that causes us to stress out. There's no stressful situations. It's how we perceive them. It's how we respond to them. It's how we manage them.
That makes absolute sense. And so my next question is, what are the tools that we need to know in order to handle stress in a much healthier way?
We need to play around with the words that we use to describe our situation until we find a comfortable feeling internally. You can just start with, I want to feel good today. And just keep saying that. I want to feel good today. You will notice a shift. I promise you that. Then when we start to notice our life changing through our affirmations, we get excited because it's proof now.
It's almost as if stress is like an affirmation, except it's a very harmful affirmation, right?
Affirmations can be positive and affirmations can be negative. So whatever we're telling ourselves, we are going to experience it in our reality. So if we constantly say, my job is so stressful, my boyfriend's stressing me out, my wife is stressing me out, my kids, oh my God, we're saying it, we're saying it into our reality. We're confirming it that this is how we feel. So we have to change the way we're describing our situations to ourselves in our mind, to other people. We have to be very mindful how we're expressing ourselves.
That makes absolute sense to me. And so, what I want to know, and what I think the viewers and listeners should know, is how do you handle stress within relationships? Specifically, with loved ones or maybe even coworkers, people that are definitely in our circle that we deal with on a daily basis. What are your thoughts on stress and relationships?
Stress in relationships. Yeah, we can create a stressful situation because, we might have small children at home or adult children that we're worried about. And we can say, oh my God, they just don't know how to behave. They stress me out. But we can also say, I'm going to appreciate the time that I have with my children. I'm going to enjoy and appreciate the time I have at work. Kind of embrace everything that is happening in your life so that you can live in peace in your mind. So if our mind is at peace, our life is at peace. A lot of times when I start working with my clients, I ask them, simple question. They say, I'm stressed out. And I say, how would you rather feel? And they say, I don't want to be stressed out. Well, that's not the right way. That's still negative. We have to change it to a positive. I want to feel comfortable spending time with my children. I want to feel comfortable spending time with my boyfriend, my husband, my friends. I want to be at peace. I want to be present. I want to enjoy the moments that we have. I'm going to look for everything that is positive in those moments. And so we're mentally preparing ourselves to have that type of experience.
And I know that in my sessions with you, you've often said you have to be aligned with your own truth. I know what that means. Some people may not. So, can you elaborate? What does it mean when you say you have to be aligned with your own truth?
When we're in alignment with our truth, we experience peace and comfort. You know, that feeling where we don't feel like we need to run somewhere, that feeling, it's a
Mhm.
very comfortable feeling. That's when we're in alignment. That's where our thoughts are in alignment with our truth. When we're not in alignment with our truth, we feel anxious. We feel worried. We can't sit still. We need to run. We need to do something. That's when our thoughts are not in alignment with our truth. There's always going to be things happening around us in the life, but we can still feel at peace. So when I say in alignment with your truth, that means that it's kind of like you're home and you've arrived.
Ooh, I love that. And something that I want the viewers and listeners to know too is that this is a practice. Like, this is not like the flip of a switch where you put it out into the universe and then like a prize falls out of the sky. It's not that type of thing. And I say that because once people start to think positively, and then they're not getting the results that they want, or a setback comes along, then they go, see, it's not working. Like, and then they go back into being stressed. They go back into anxiety and depression and all that. Can you just talk to me a little bit about how this is an ongoing thing?
It's a work in progress. The universe will answer you and present a situation that you might have to go through to get to that happiness. So you're taking steps. So there's different pathways that open up to lead you there. When working with people, in my experience, they get to a really good place, and they've practiced their affirmations and did the work, and then they get to a place where they self-sabotage. They want that amazing career, but then they have to work harder towards getting it, put more energy, put more effort, and that's uncomfortable. That's something new. So they give up. And then they say, oh, well, this doesn't work, this, positive thinking and affirmation. They give up because it gets difficult, but only because it's something new to their subconscious mind and to their experience, and they don't know how to handle it. So a lot of people give up right before they succeed.
100%. It is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, for sure.
What I'd love for you to talk about is how, you know, the most severe form of stress is chronic stress. And chronic stress is something that can actually kill you, believe it or not. And so I'm fascinated by the fact that a thought, which you can't physically see, can actually have like a physiological effect onto your body. So something you can't see, then all of a sudden like makes you sick. And to all those people that think that thoughts don't have an effect on you, just think about that, because it is a fact that chronic stress can kill you.
I definitely believe that. I've seen it in my personal life, unfortunately, with my mom. She struggled so much with fear and anxiety and worry. And, she contracted cancer when she was 52 years old. And, I wish that what I know now, I knew then to help her, with her thinking, and just get her to a safe place with herself. So I definitely believe that we create our own disease in our bodies through our emotions and our thoughts. When we're so used to living in constant fear and anxiety and worry, and end up feeling depressed, our energy is closed. It doesn't have a fight. It can't fight. And it's an open door to negative energy to house in. And then once it's there, we really lose control. It's really hard to get out of it. But I always say, if you see a tiny little light, tiny one, that's the only thing you have to hold on to, and let that become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger over time. You know, the light can be so small amongst this darkness around it. No, but if you can see a little bit, just keep trying to go towards it.
All you need is a little bit of hope, and then you make it bigger from there. I love that. You know, that reminds me of when I first started how to learn how to camp, believe it or not, just a few years ago. And I was learning how to start a fire. One of my very dear friends taught me that, you know, it starts off with tinder, which, not the dating app, tinder, like the small twigs and, you know, maybe leaves that are dry. And you have a little bit of a spark, and then you get the kindling, which consists of small to medium sized sticks. And then the fire gets bigger, and then you put firewood, which is larger sticks. So that to me reminds me of what hope is. So as long as you have Tinder, not the dating app, then you can have a big fire, right? So don't get caught up in the stress or the darkness or whatnot, because when I was starting a fire, I easily could have been like, oh, the wind, it's too windy, it sucks, or the fire's too small. No, it's actually up to you to put in the kindling and then the firewood, and then all of a sudden, like, you're warm and you get to enjoy it, right? You get to enjoy your hard work. It's not just gonna like burst up into flames from Tinder from the beginning.
It becomes big. It becomes big.
All right, Leanna. So, what is the one piece of advice that you have for our viewers or listeners that say there's somebody out there who is just extremely stressed out from being in quarantine? What would you have to tell that person?
Think about what would my life look like if I didn't have this addiction, or I didn't have the stress? How would I feel? You know, think about that. Give yourself some time to explore your ideas, your thoughts, your visions. You know, discover yourself through that. And I always say, you know, imagine imagine what your life would be like if you were sober. Imagine what you'd be doing if you were sober. Imagine how your relationships would be. Imagine how your career life would be. Imagine how you feel. So take some time to just imagine and play around. The mind is very powerful. We just really need to know how to use it correctly.
Leanna, thank you so, so much. That is all very valuable advice. So there you go, guys. We're too blessed to be stressed. And if you're stressed out, there's ways out of it. Just listen to the tips that we talked about, specifically Leanna's amazingness. And so, Leanna, if anybody wants to work with you or do a session or even more sessions with you, how can they reach out?
Thank you, Joel. You can just go directly to my website at lianalapidus.com. That's LEANNALAPIDUS.com. You can go to contact form, fill it out, and I also offer free consultations. So I would love to get connected with you and answer any questions that you may have.
And her Instagram is at Leanna Lapidus Hypnotherapy. Mine is at Joel Relampagos. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment below, and tell us what you want us to talk about. I know there's a lot of things that we should talk about in terms of mental health and recovery. So let us know. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't go anywhere because there's so many more videos that we've made and more to come. See you guys later.